All right, so it's conference championship weekend.
Big games coming up.
And, you want to go a little deeper than just, the obvious storyline. Of course, the usual suspects.
Right.
You want to know who are those players that could really swing the outcome of these games.
Absolutely.
Those under-the-radar guys.
The X factors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The X factors.
Love it.
So think of it like this. If you were, putting down some money,
Yeah.
this is the kind of information that could give you
A real edge.
a real edge, right?
Absolutely.
So you send us this Fox Sports article
Okay.
about potential X factors for all 4 teams.
All right, let's break it down.
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
So let's start with the NFC Championship. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
First up for the Eagles, we got tight end Dallas Goedert.
All right.
Now, the article points out that their passing game last week kind of struggled a little bit.
For sure.
So Goedert, their most productive receiver this postseason. Could he be the key to kind of unlocking things?
Yeah, I think he's a really interesting player to look at, especially going up against Washington's defense.
Okay.
You see their linebackers. They've really struggled in coverage this season. And that's where Goedert, he thrives.
Yeah.
Remember, week 11,
Oh, yeah.
5 catches for 61 yards.
Are you working the seams?
Yeah, mostly over the middle.
And Washington's given up a lot of yards and touchdowns in that area of the field this year.
All season long, really vulnerable over the middle.
Next up, we've got rookie cornerback Cooper DeJean.
Okay,
Pro Football Writers Association all-rookie team.
very impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But the article highlights something else, too.
Okay.
He's a key part of their nickel defense,
Yeah.
which they use a lot.
They do, and it's been effective.
What makes it so effective for them?
Well, they bring in an extra defensive back, right?
Right.
Gives them more speed, more flexibility to cover those,
Yeah.
quick, shifty receivers that Washington has. Also, it really helps to contain a mobile quarterback like Jaden Daniels,
Right.
who can really hurt you with his legs.
Absolutely.
And, since DeJean stepped into that nickel corner role,
Yeah.
they've allowed the fewest yards per play using that package.
Wow.
He's been a difference maker.
And the article even mentions his potential impact as a returner.
Oh, yeah. Don't sleep on special teams.
Right.
Could be a sneaky source of some big plays for the Eagles.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Look at the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
Now, the article makes it clear.
Yeah.
They really struggled against Saquon Barkley this season.
He had his way with them.
They need someone to step up and stop him.
They do.
And it looks like that someone might be veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
don't underestimate Bobby Wagner.
No.
This isn't some washed-up veteran.
No, not at all.
No.
He led the Commanders in tackles this year.
Yeah.
Still one of the smartest run stoppers in the game.
And the article really highlighted his ability to kind of diagnose plays before the snap.
Yeah. And get to the runner inside the tackle box.
Right, where Barkley does most of his damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if Wagner can disrupt Barkley's rhythm early,
Yeah.
could change the momentum of the game.
Huge.
Wait, now, for an interesting twist here,
Okay.
the article suggests running back Austin Eckler could be a key X factor
Interesting.
for Washington's offense.
Okay.
It points out that Eagles linebacker Zach Bound, while having a great year,
Uh-huh.
still relatively inexperienced.
Yeah.
So could that be something that Eckler exploits?
Well, remember, their first matchup this season,
Uh-huh.
Eckler torched Bound.
Oh, really?
8 catches, 89 yards.
Wow.
That's the blueprint for the Commanders.
Yeah.
If they can isolate Eckler on Bound, especially on 3rd down,
Oh, yeah.
that's a matchup they have to like.
Absolutely. So we talked about the Eagles, maybe exploiting some weaknesses
Yeah.
in Washington's defense.
Yeah.
What about the Commanders' offense?
Okay.
What does the article say about how they might find some success? Well, the article suggests that targeting Zach Bound with Austin Eckler might be a key for them.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Seems like Eckler could be a real problem
Yeah, for sure.
if they can't find a way to contain him.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears
Okay.
to the AFC Championship.
All right.
The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills.
Always a thriller.
This matchup is always a thriller.
Yeah, those two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah.
And the quarterbacks, Mahomes and Allen,
Yeah.
both capable of taking over a game at any moment.
Speaking of Mahomes, let's talk about his wide receiver, Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
Brown missed a good chunk of the season
He did.
with an injury, but he's back now.
He is.
And the article suggests he could be the missing piece.
Interesting.
That completes the Chiefs' offensive puzzle.
How so?
Well, they've got, those reliable intermediate threats
Yeah.
in Kelce and Hopkins.
Right.
But they really needed someone with that speed to stretch the field.
Yeah, they needed that vertical threat.
vertically.
And now with Brown back in the lineup,
Yeah.
alongside rookie Xavier Worthy,
Right.
defenses can't just key in on, shutting down those underneath routes.
Yeah.
They have to respect the deep ball, too.
It's going to be a real challenge for the Bills secondary.
Oh, yeah, they've got a lot to think about.
They're going to have to account for all those weapons.
They're going to have to pick their poison.
On the defensive side for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
the article is pretty clear.
Okay.
Someone has to contain Josh Allen.
That's the key to the game right there.
And it looks like that responsibility might fall on linebacker Nick Bolton.
Okay, tough task for any defender, but Bolton's a very talented player.
Yeah.
The key for him is going to be, discipline
Yeah.
in both run defense and zone coverage.
Right.
Yeah, the Bills have a diverse passing attack,
Right.
so he's got to be ready for anything.
The Chiefs lost to the Bills earlier this season.
Yeah, they did.
And Allen had a big game against them.
He did.
So they definitely need to improve
Oh, for sure.
on that defensive performance.
Yeah, that loss is going to be fresh in their minds. I'm sure they've been working on ways to slow down Allen and that Bills offense.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what adjustments they make.
All right, now let's move on to the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
It's a new era in Buffalo
Yes.
with Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis now playing for other teams.
Right.
The article points out that Khalil Shakir has stepped up as their main receiver,
Okay.
and he could be a real problem for the Chiefs, especially after the catch.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
The article highlights Shakir's explosiveness after the catch.
Yeah,
And the Chiefs have struggled in that area this year.
they have.
In fact, they gave up the 9th most yards after the catch during the regular season.
Wow.
So,
The article specifically mentioned his Week 11 performance
okay.
against Kansas City, 8 catches, 70 yards, with 56 of those coming after the catch.
So that's the blueprint.
That's a pretty clear blueprint.
Yeah, for how the Bills might attack the Chiefs' defense.
Yeah, it's definitely something they're going to have to focus on.
They're going to have to be aware of where he is at all times.
Yeah, if they can't limit Shakir's yards after the catch,
Yeah,
it could be a long day for their defense.
absolutely.
And of course, we can't talk about the Bills without mentioning their star pass rusher.
Von Miller.
Von Miller, if you want a big game player.
He's your guy.
Von Miller's your guy.
Postseason legend.
He really is.
The article, really dives into his postseason dominance.
Yeah.
Points out that he's top 10 all-time in playoff sacks.
Yeah.
And, he's not just living off his reputation.
Right.
He's still making huge plays.
Yeah.
Like that fumble recovery touchdown last week against Baltimore.
He's one of the few players in the league who can single-handedly disrupt an offense.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' offensive line better be ready for him.
They definitely need to have a plan for him.
Yeah.
If they give him too much space.
He can wreak havoc
Right.
on Mahomes in that passing attack.
It's going to be a battle of the Titans, that's for sure.
It really is.
Mahomes and that high-powered Chiefs offense against Allen and the Bills' dynamic attack.
Huh.
And then you throw in guys like Shakir and Miller,
Right.
who can swing the momentum.
Yeah, in an instant.
In an instant. It's no wonder this game
Yeah.
is always a nail-biter.
It really highlights how, these less heralded players
Right.
can have such a significant impact on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
They might not get all the headlines,
Right.
but, their contributions can be the difference between winning and losing.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not about the superstar quarterbacks
Right.
or the flashy running backs.
Yep.
It's about those guys who step up
Right.
and make those crucial plays.
The unsung heroes.
The unsung heroes.
That's right.
All right, so before we wrap up,
Yeah.
our deep dive on these championship games.
I want to touch on the Super Bowl predictions
Okay.
from the article.
Yeah.
They have the Eagles slightly favored over both the Chiefs and the Bills.
Interesting.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the only team that isn't facing a quarterback
Right.
who's been to the Super Bowl before.
Yeah, it really speaks to their dominance this season.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been
incredible.
really, really good.
But as the article points out, the Super Bowl is often a game of matchups.
It is.
And things get really interesting when you start thinking about how those matchups could shift
For sure.
depending on who wins this weekend.
Absolutely.
So for example, if the Eagles end up facing the Bills,
Yeah.
that Dijon versus Shakir battle
Oh, yeah.
could be huge,
On both sides of the ball.
both on defense and special teams.
Absolutely.
And then you think about Gerdert
Yeah.
against the Bills linebackers,
Oh, man.
or Eckler, trying to exploit whoever they have covering him out of the backfield.
Right.
Those could be some real game-changing matchups.
No doubt about it.
On the other hand, If the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl,
Okay.
imagine Brown and Worthy
Oh, wow.
trying to outrun the Eagles' secondary.
That would be a track meet.
That would be a track meet.
Yeah,
But we can't forget about the experience factor either.
that's right.
Mahomes and Allen.
Yeah,
They've both been on that Super Bowl stage before,
they have.
so they know what to expect.
And that experience can be invaluable,
Right.
especially when it comes to handling the pressure
Uh-huh.
and, making those in-game adjustments.
Right. But sometimes that hunger for a first Super Bowl win
Oh, yeah.
can be a powerful motivator, too.
Absolutely.
Think about Jaden Daniels
Right.
and the Commanders.
Ooh.
He's playing with a chip on his shoulder,
Yeah.
trying to prove he belongs
Sure.
among the elite.
Yeah.
And then you got Jalen Hurts,
Right.
who's already been to the Super Bowl once,
Yep.
looking for redemption
Hmm.
after last year's loss.
So many intriguing storylines, so many potential matchups to consider.
It's going to be an incredible
Yeah.
finish to the season,
It really is.
no matter who comes out on top.
Absolutely.
So for you, our listener,
Yeah,
this is where the real fun begins.
it is.
Take what you've learned about these X factors, these hidden advantages,
Yes.
and watch these games with a whole new perspective.
You might be surprised at what you see.
You really might.
And don't be afraid to make your own predictions.
That's right.
Who do you think will step up and be the hero
Yeah.
who will make that one play that changes everything?
We've had a blast
I know, me too.
breaking down all of this with you today.
It's been fun.
We covered the NFC and AFC Championship games.
Right.
We analyzed, those potential X factors for
Okay.
each team.
Yep.
And we even looked ahead to some Super Bowl possibilities.
We did.
But ultimately, it's all about enjoying the games.
That's what it's all about.
It's the culmination
It is.
of an entire season's worth
Yeah.
of hard work and dedication and passion.
And when those lights come on this weekend,
Yeah.
anything can happen.
So sit back, relax, and savor these championship games.
Absolutely.
Because moments like these are what makes sports so special.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.